My name is David Joshua Tungle, a safety analytics specialist specializing in aviation safety data analytics, infrastructure, and risk management. I translate complex operational data into evidence-based workflows, visualizations, and actionable risk strategies and insights teams can actually use. This presentation is a live example, a deep dive analysis of avian hazard risk, and the systematic identification and control of bird strike exposure in the flight path, aiming for a risk reduction from a current 4C index to a target 3D using 5 structured methodologies: HIRAC, bowtie, fault tree, gap analysis, and Pareto. Every finding is evidence-based. Every action is traceable. Let's get into it. Our current risk is 4C, occasional probability and major severity. The root cause is categorized into 4 vital few risk drivers, accounting for over 81% of the total risk exposure. Our target is 3D, a remote probability with minor severity. The hazard identification, risk assessment, and control, or HIRAC, establishes our baseline, which is currently exposed at a 4C risk index. Achieving our 3D target requires us to shift from relying on external authorities to developing robust internal capabilities for proactive control and monitoring. The bowtie model shows our current defense's fragility, highlighting low and minimal effectiveness ratings for prevention barriers. This increases the likelihood of a bird strike, placing immense pressure on our recovery barriers, which are also rated as low. Bird strikes occur when environmental exposure meets gaps in our defenses. Our primary vulnerability is excessive airside vegetation, rated occasional at P equals 0.01, which drives the baseline probability of avian hazard in active flight paths. Our strategic priority: targeted habitat modification. This delivers the highest preventative ROI. The upcoming Ecological Action Plan outlines the physical interventions needed to permanently eliminate this wildlife attractant. Our gap analysis maps the solution by transitioning from low-effectiveness states to high-effectiveness targets. The action steps focus on daily standardizations and new tools to bridge the gaps across both airside prevention and post-strike recovery to meet the 3D risk target. The Pareto analysis proves that 81.1% of our total bird strike risk is concentrated in just 4 operational gaps. Our immediate priority must be to invest in airport inspection gaps and bird control equipment, which combined account for nearly half of the total risk. This summary shows what we assessed, the 4C baseline risk, and the methodologies used. It highlights what we found: 4 vital risk drivers and critical barrier failures. Finally, it outlines what we must do: standardize inspections, procure control equipment, and deploy recovery protocols, all with defined owners and deadlines. To summarize, the situation is exposure to avian hazards due to varying levels of airside wildlife management. The complication is the elevated 4C risk driven by inadequate inspections and equipment. The resolution is to implement targeted mitigations to achieve the acceptable 3D target risk state. Again, I'm David, a safety data architect with 3+ years of transforming complex operational data into decisions that reduce real-world risk. The methodologies showcased throughout this portfolio, using Python, SQL, Tableau, and a 5-tool SMS framework, reflect the same analytical approach I bring to every organization I support. To learn more, connect with me on LinkedIn. Safety doesn't wait, and neither should the conversation. Let's build something safer, together.